Good evening and welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View this Sunday evening, Palm Sunday. I hope you've all had an absolutely fantastic day, and I hope you've taken time out to go to Mass today if you're Catholic. And yeah. Anyway, back to Celtic news this evening. There's a bit of news came out today, and there's a strange one came out on the land of Twitterati. The Anfield Wrap looks like that they're doing an interview with Oxlade-Chamberlain, or an absolute, or will it be? Will it be the announcement of Andy Robertson as a Celtic player? This is what they've put on their social media tomorrow. It's got the Celtic badge, some green lighting, green curtains, green effect, and a chair. Has to be Oxlade-Chamberlain, surely. Or is it the fact that tomorrow is the day? Andy Robertson has said that he will make an announcement before the World Cup. So I don't think it's that. I do think it's more than likely to be an interview with Oxlade-Chamberlain. Where is it? It's back there. Let's come off the screen and do that. Sunday night specials. Yeah, let's talk about. Dell's been a member for 12 months. Big up, Dell. Thank you for that. A full year of the One Celtic Fans View. Here's my cup of tea to you. Thank you for being a loyal member for 12 months, Dell. Araujo. We need to get to the elephant in the room, won't we? Araujo's injury. And it's come out today that Araujo will be out for up to 8 weeks. But we've had from a source, I won't divulge the source because it will all I'm saying is don't believe everything that you see in the media. And with the timeline for Julien Araujo, he may be back before then, but will he be at Celtic? He's at loan until Celtic till the end of the season, and if he has played his last game for Celtic, he's going to be a massive loss between now and the end of the season. The fact that we do have Alistair Johnston coming back, will that make up for the loss of Julien Araujo? We've still got Colby Donovan, who's came through the system, but I think that longer term, I think that obviously losing Araujo at this point of the season is devastating for Celtic, and it makes you wonder what will happen in the summer. There's two trains of thought. Go sneeze. There's two trains of thought of what may happen in the summer, and one of them is that Alistair Johnston could be sold this summer. This could be the summer that Alistair Johnston is sold. Obviously, if he does well at the World Cup, you may expect bids to come in for him. And what did you feel about Daiz Maeda last night, taking off as a substitute? We'll talk about that in a couple of minutes. Daiz Maeda starting against Scotland, captain. And I've got to admit, I was sitting in the boozer and I was cheering on Dyson to try and score. And I'd love to see him to score. Do you know why? Because Scotland fans booing Dyson Maeda for one reason, and one reason only, because he's a Celtic player. Bigotry at its best. So if there's one thing that Scotland does do well, and it is bigotry, isn't it? It is complete bigotry. It's a sad, sad state of affairs. But anyway, Araujo, how much of a miss will he be? Let's jump into some of the comments. Just wonder what the physios have been up to all year. Ooh. Well, there's a train of thought that there is a train of thought that the injury actually happened on the night out, that infamous night out. Just a kick in the sacks after a kick in the sacks of a season. Yes, it is that. Even to you in Porto, the weather's fantastic in Portugal. Well, South Portugal. I've got a mate who's just moved from Mallorca to the south of Portugal. for tax reasons as well. Paying too much tax in Spain, so he moved to Portugal. Looks nice where he is too. Looks really nice. That's another one out for the rest of the league. We're probably going to catch up. I'm not even going to do this. Alistair Johnston's going to take a couple of months to get back to full fitness. Yes, he will. Alistair Johnston's back in training, but he'll be looking to come back. He'll be looking to get fit for the World Cup, really. What a boring game. Yeah, it was one of the worst. I mean, I hate international games at the best of times. I despise them. I watched the World Cup. I'm hoping for some negativity around the World Cup with regards to the fact that it's went to America. Maybe that's the only thing. But yeah, as a game, tell you one thing, I do not want, if that was Steve Clark football at its best. And then you had Andy Robertson coming out after it and saying, well, it was a hard game against an opposition that's so far up the rankings, and this is the team that. And I'm like, if I'm no joking, if that's Andy Robertson's chat, and if that's the chat for the manager, I don't think I really want Andy Robertson at Celtic after the summer, because just to wind down his career for a couple of years, bring him in at the same age as what Chamberlain is, and Callum McGregor and Andy Robertson. I'm not wanting a team full of old crocs at Celtic next year. And as for the Scotland manager, I don't want him anywhere near Celtic. It's just not. No, no. If that's the standard that we're going to, Jesus Christ, we're doomed. We are doomed. Helen says, more bad news. Martin O'Neill must be scunnered. If Celtic finish third this season, that means next season they will only qualify for the Conference League. If they win the Scottish Cup, they go into Europa League playoffs. Let's hope that we 100%, but as I was hoping he was going. I was actually, and the missus we're sitting in the pub and she's like, you really want Dyson to score, eh? And I went, aye, too right, man. Listen, every time he touched the ball at the beginning and he booed, he got booed. Do you know what I mean? And I'm like, but Rangers fans didn't go to Scotland games. Surprised they do. Oh, they must do, because they all walked out early as well. So it must be Rangers fans at it, because they completely walked out early. 10 minutes to go, 15 minutes to go, the stadium started emptying. Top two are into the Champions League qualifiers next season. Yeah. Imagine being a Catholic and paying money to be sectarianly abused. I know. It's one thing that Scotland is good for. But do you know what I love about? I mean, the religious stuff here is on different level stuff, and the Palm Sunday stuff's just unbelievable, and it's going to be good. I'm going to go down to Malaga, because Easter week in Malaga is just different level stuff. It's all way up here. Tunisia beat Hatate playing for somebody else. Tenecti scored the winner. There we go. Celtic should be looking to the future. We should maybe get the DeLorean. Maybe that's what we've had, is we've had the DeLorean, because we keep going back to the future. You know, maybe Back to the Future isn't the thing. Nobody in the pub was even watching it. No interest. Mate, there was a guy in the pub that we were in, and I swear to God, he was about falling asleep. Evening everyone. Steve Clark will be the next Celtic manager. If he's the next Celtic manager, we're all. It's if he is the next Celtic manager, we're doomed. Colombia, France is on tonight. What? Wait a minute. I have to get this off my head. Talking about Scotland. Why are Scotland playing down in Liverpool? Why are Scotland playing down? Can anybody tell me in the comments? I have no idea why, but why are Scotland playing down in Liverpool on Tuesday? It's, it's I don't get it, and they are, aren't they? It's Ivory Coast. Why are they playing in Liverpool? There's got to be no one there. Who the hell in Liverpool's want to go and watch Scotland play Ivory Coast? I just don't get that. There's nothing. See, when you think that Scotland just won't surprise you anymore, and you're just like, what the fuck? That's like England coming up to Glasgow or Edinburgh, fucking Dundee, or even Aberdeen. It's like England coming up to Scotland to play a game of football, a friendly. Just not going to happen. So why the hell are we playing Ivory Coast down in Liverpool? What's going on in Hampden this week? And that Hampden grass, Jesus, don't get me started on that. World Cup, USA, Canada, Mexico. Don't know how it can just be one country. Yeah, USA, Canada, Mexico. And it's all on about poof. Portugal drew 0-0 in Mexico. Most of the fans want Martinez sacked as they don't like his style of football. It's basically a Spanish Stevie Clark. Fucking. Oh, wow. It's like Celtic have got the lucky dip bag, and it's like they've got last dibs. Do you know what I mean? It's like they've got a bag of sweets, and they're scraping about the bottom. It's like when you go for a chippy, and you get the fish, and the fish comes out in the big bit, and there's loads of wee floaty, crispy, battery bits still in the fryer, and that's the managers that Scotland are picking up. It's not the big fish that Celtic are picking up. Sorry, it's not the big fish. Do you know what I mean? It's the floaty scraps a bit of batter. Surely they weren't doing walking away. Yeah, they were. Scotland fans left early. Easter week in Ireland, Baz. It's Easter week all over the world. I don't know. I don't know if it's as big as because they don't do the parades as big, do they? The Easter week stuff. I mean, Malaga's mental. I mean, the Palm Sunday thing today from one church, and there's always two churches in the towns. You know, they come from one end, they go for one church, and then they come down with the palms and everything. And yeah, it's interesting. I think we play Liverpool because we had. I think we were playing in Liverpool because we had to play an away game. Even that makes no sense. It's it's just Scotland versus Ivory Coast, 7:30 Liverpool. Buy tickets now. I wonder how many tickets are available. Buy online. The full stadium. I mean, you'll get some nutters that will go down just for a bevy. It's got a Liverpool, swallow it. Bjorn Madrid, hey, the flower of Scotland. Wow, it's nearly sold out. Section 127, there's 39%. I'll put it on the screen. Let me just move this over here. Section 226. There are 10% available, 20% available, 230 in area 223, area 220, 12%, 21% in that section, 7%, 2%, 1%. Behind the goals, 8% available, 24%, 39%. It's nearly a sellout. 14%. They must be giving tickets away. Surely. I mean, what stadium is it in? The Hill Dickinson Stadium. Aye, aye, aye. Don't. Scotland just. I don't know. The world's gone mad. Scotland playing down in Liverpool, in the Everton Stadium. Surely they're no. I mean, what does Everton Stadium hold? Capacity. 52,000. Jesus. There's no way. Not a chance. Have they sold the best part of 50,000 tickets down in at Everton Stadium? I'm not buying that at all. Jesus, Hampden wasn't even full last night. The other night. Was it last night? When was it? Yeah, it was yesterday. Yesterday. It's because I went out last night as well. Yeah, it was yesterday. Um, there's no way. Surely. Um, cold. Next manager has already split the beans. Keen. We played Brazil in London a few years ago. Hmm. Next one is Spain, Portugal, and Morocco. Balagwisha on international duty. I have no idea. Is he even at Celtic? Must be the away fixture thing. He didn't want to travel to Africa. Yeah. Ivory Coast are sponsored by Adidas. So there's quite a lot of tops. It's probably an Adidas roadshow. Hmm. Scotland play at Liverpool Station. Yesterday's game was just an Adidas marketing ploy. Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Who had the better strip? Was it the pink Scotland top, or was it the white bland Japan top from Adidas? Chelsea didn't deserve booed. That was bad. That yeah, it's you know what section of this Scot. Do you know what's funny? I've got cousins that are Tartan Army members, and they've been Tartan Army members for 20, 30 years. They go to all the away games with Scotland, all the international away games, and I can remember them saying that this guy came and joined them, and we sat down, and he's like, "Wow, who do you support?" And they're looking at them, and they don't stay in Scotland. They've never stayed in Scotland. They're from Fife originally, but they've never stayed in Scotland for 30 years. Never stayed in Scotland for 30 years, but they still travel to all the Scotland games. And this guy sat down and he's like, "Oh, what teams do you support? Celtic or Rangers?" And they were like, "Mate, that just doesn't even come into it when you're away with Scotland. Ah, come on, tell me, are you Celtic or you Rangers?" And he was a Rangers fan himself, and it was just the mentality. And they're like, "Look, mate, but domestic football has nothing when we support Scotland." And the fact is that they didn't even see it, and the majority of the people that they used to go to games with in the Tartan Army didn't stay in Scotland either, but they went to all the international games. It's just weird. The Easter Rising marches, yes. It's for a different reason, isn't it? It's for the Easter Rising. It's not really. It's not really the religious festivals, is it? That's what I'm getting at. Um, I knew there was the Easter parade stuff, but I didn't. I'm talking about like on a religious aspect. How come England get to play the same games in the same country? No idea. Um, well, way to describe our managerial options. Skittery, frizzled bits of fish. Could you think of any other options? I could say just pure shite. Um, because if it does come down, the fact that I mean, if a potential Celtic manager is disliked in the job that he's currently in, and they want him sacked because of his boring football, and then the other option is another national manager that plays boring football. We are scraped the bottom of the barrel, aren't we? But we know that. We know that. Half dozen donuts at the game. I know there's a lot of Irish in Liverpool, but obviously more Scottish than we thought. There's no 52,000, 50 or 48,000 Scots filling that, surely. Tartan Army taking over Liverpool. Oh, God. Take pity on Liverpool. Danny Cassie's come in with a couple of super chats. Thank you for that, Danny. I'm just going to keep 44 people duped. Yes, this is true. Don't get me started on that. The Evertonians think it's Ireland. The tricolour's backwards, Ivory Coast. This is very true. To get a little bit confused. Oh shit! I've just closed down the wrong screen. Oh, for fuck's sake! Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I need to just go back into this. I don't know why deep fried fish came into my mind when I thought about the Scotland manager. I'll be honest, I have no idea. You know, sometimes something just comes into your head, and it's like, well, what's something that's really nice, and it has, but on the same effect, has something that's not great next to it. But a fish, the batter. Anyway, that's enough of that nonsense. It's Sunday night, gives a break. Um, I'm in the right mood for fish and chips now. Ay, ay, ay. Danny Cassie's sending out memberships. Let me get the news bit back up since I closed it down. So anyway, back to Araujo. How big a miss will Julien Araujo be? I noticed that not a chance. How bad will it be the fact that if Araujo is out and then we're going into the end of the season? I mean, I know that Alistair Johnson will come back, but he's not going to play a full 90 minutes, is he? Don't know. He's not going to say he's not going to go 90 minutes. So you're going to bring it. You're either bringing on Alistair Johnston to play the last half an hour of a match, and there's a risk in that on its own, or you start Alistair Johnston to get him some fitness, and he's only going to last about 55, 60 minutes for a couple of games. And then that might upset the rhythm of the back four. Do you go with Colby Donovan to the end of the season? I've got cod and chorizo wedges in the oven as we speak. Cod and chorizo wedges. It's bizarre. A massive miss not having a Rocco. Yeah, I think it's going to be a massive miss. Um, I say this every time. Every time ages been down there with the band is in college. Baz is another one of the guys. His heart is an island, but his feet are not. My only connection to Ireland, mate, is my gran. Do you know what I mean? So, uh, Alistair Johnson, 60 minutes on the right wing, says Big Rab. Colby is injured. Did they not just pull out the Scotland squad? Or it was in the Scotland squad, the under 21s, weren't they? No, they're fish cakes and wedges. Don't start talking about food. Could be Ralston starting. Oh, Ralston starting. Oh, Jesus. It was one morning in July. I was walking through Tipperary. We're going to end up with Tony Ralston playing at the end of the season, aren't we? That would pretty much sum up the season with Alistair Johnson coming back. You know, Alistair Johnson. All Alistair Johnson's going to be trying to do is get his fitness up so that he can get games at the World Cup. Let's face it. I don't think that the impacts that he's going to do. You never know. You never know. What about Alistair Johnson on the telly, being a commentator, a news broadcaster? It makes me look. But I'm an amateurist, but he was up. He looks like he should be doing that all the time. In steps Ali Johnson. Come on, mate. Come out. Have a seat. Anyway, nothing professional about this. Big loss, but we still have Alistair Johnson coming back. No, I haven't, mate. Nope. Imagine if Ralston gets injured versus Ivory Coast. Oh, God. That would just be our luck. He gets a thigh injury. But yeah, I seen I seen a clip of it, Alistair Johnson on TV, and I'm like, he looks as if he should be a news reporter, doesn't he? He actually looks like he should be a news reporter. I don't know, he had the suit and everything on, and just he was loving it. You could definitely see. I mean, we all know that he could talk, and we know that he's not going to be worried about what he's going to do after football. You know, when he hangs up his boots, when he stops playing football, that man could talk for Jesus. He could talk for Scotland, him. And there's one thing: he'll get a job on TV easy. You think that Joe Hart's good? Oh, you need to dress. You need to dress the groom too, boss. Oh, Ralston. Imagine Ralston scored the goal that won us the league. When was the last time Ralston scored? I mean, has Ralston scored since that time up in Ross County under Ange? Hmm. I'm not too sure. I don't think he has. You got to remember that Ralston took a shot in the last game, the last minute of the last game that we played, and he was smiling as if I mean, it went miles wide, but he was laughing. Hmm. But anyway. Since we're talking fish, does anyone eat the chips before the burger or the burger before the chips? Oh, I'm drinking tea for this nonsense. Ah. He had a scoring splurge under Ange, didn't he? I always eat the burger first, but that's just me. Dyson's not at his best. Well, they got taken off for Japan last night, but they made 4 substitutes at the one stage, so I think it was just to give him the captaincy against Scotland, wasn't it? But did you see the way that Dyson Maeda and Andy Robertson kind of looked at each other and laughed as they were walking out the tunnel? Alistair Johnson coming back just at the right time. Ralston will have to help out. I think that I take it you're all talking about a deep fried burger, like covered in batter. You're not talking about a burger on a roll. You call it a roll, you call it a bat where you come from. It's a roll, isn't it? It's a fucking roll. It's not. It's nothing. Don't call it nothing. It's a roll. It's a roll. How can anyone forget this goal? Click on here to get that. That was 2024. That was 2024. His last goal for Celtic was in 2024.
What if your entire...
Shut up. I'll get it on the screen. We'll get a Tony Ralston goal on the screen any minute. Just purely... I would probably demonetize the fucking video, won't it? Like a slap in the wrist. Fuck it, we'll go with it. Callum McGregor. Look at that. Callum going forward. Callum taking on a couple of players. Ball out wide. Ralston comes in. Goal. I remember that goal. God, what you would do to get that team back together, eh? I mean, there was Callum McGregor. What's happened to Callum? Never mind the Tony Ralston clip here. What's happened to Callum? I mean, look at him here. He's taking on, he's getting the ball, going forward, taking on one player, getting forward, passing. This is right. There's Callum. Callum's playing out of defence, right? Holding midfield role, comes forward. What has Brendan Rodgers did to Callum McGregor? He's ruined him, isn't he? Completely ruined him. Or was it just the fact that the midfield ruined? Tony Ralston comes in at the side. But I want to go. We need to watch this. Callum. That was only in 2024. What has happened to Callum McGregor? Do you know, that's no Mr. Pointy Pointy as he's become known. He didn't have to do the pointy pointy thing then. Honestly, Celtic just frustrate the life. See, just watching things like that just frustrates you now. Breaking the lines with confidence, yeah, bonkers. It's nuts. It shows you how frustrating this season's been when you see Callum McGregor playing like that. For the criticism that Callum McGregor has had this season, and then you see him play a ball like that led to a goal. It's bonkers. You've got to say that it's completely down to Brendan Rodgers. You've got to say it. Do you know what I mean? Breaking the lines with confidence. Said it all season. I wonder what distance between Celtic, between Calmac and the champions last year performances. Not Brendan, it's Carl. It's not Brendan, it's Carl. Danny Cassie's off for the night. Calmac has got older. That's what happened, Baz. His legs have been going for years. Wait a minute, mate. I'm not buying that because he's not putting in a big shift here. That's not your legs. That's not pace. Maybe we'll go back and we'll get this video back up. I'm not buying that at all. Let me just increase the screen again. I mean, there's Karl Mark there. That's not somebody that's got great pace. Come on. Do you know what I mean? That's just... There's no great pace there. That's mentality stuff. You could say he gets lucky with the break of the ball here. You could say doesn't have much to do. Player kind of holds him back, but he's still going forward. Do you know what I mean? I mean, he's almost getting tackled, rugby tackled there, and he gets a great pass way out wide. Fast attacking football. Do you know that? And that's what it is. It's fast attacking football. Look at the difference with Kilmarnock as well. There's no low block from Kilmarnock. It's not as bad as what it is now. Do you mean look at the defenders? There's only no, there's not 7 or 8 of them all back in the back line. I mean, there's 3 defenders, 4 coming back. I'm not buying it. I just think the team, the style of the football and stuff. This has just been a weird season. We do seem to score a lot of goals against Kilmarnock. Nice CCV's goal. Same pitch with Martin O'Neill as it with Rodgers was back. We're backwards and going forwards. Well, is that down? And I'm going to say it. Is it down to the likes of Sean Maloney and stuff? The modern football. You know, turn it and pass it back. Maybe Sean Maloney's too similar to what the elite manager Brendan Rodgers was. Using his brain more, like, yeah, using his brain. Attacking with confidence. Seems to be ages ago watching that. And it does, doesn't it? And that's just, it's very disappointing from a Celtic perspective. Where's that other one? Cameron Carter-Vickers for goal of the season. Wait, we'll turn that down. Let me just play this first. God, that was a cracker. It was for distance, wasn't it? God, you don't see Cameron Carter-Vickers score many goals like that. Let me just see if we can get this on the full screen. And then we will do this. So you see Carter-Vickers with the ball there. Takes the shot. Cracking goal. Let me just move this along a bit. There we go. Cracker in the back of the net. But look at the defenders. I mean, there's 4 defenders. Well, there's 5, 6 when you include Dayton. You know, when you look at the defence, it's not as big a low block. So things have definitely changed over the last couple of years. But anyway, yeah, interesting. That was against Kilmarnock again. I hate Maloney's football. Aaron Moy didn't have great pace, but yeah, exactly. I mean, we talk about this pace in midfield. Aaron Moy, he didn't have great pace. Don't know. Wait and see. But I don't know who the manager will be. I think that Celtic have. I don't even think Celtic know who they want the next manager to be. To be honest. And if it is any of the ones that are in contention, do you know the I don't know if it's going to be. There's nothing that's exciting us, managerial wise, with Celtic right now. Nothing that's really saying, do you know, it's going to be. It's going to be a great season next year. You should watch Naka's free kicks. Yeah. There's about 8 of them versus Kelly alone. Yeah. We don't have a quality striker up top. And the players on the wing busting a gut to get into the box. Look at the players going forward. Now they just walk into the box. Yeah, you're exact. It's exact. We know this, mate. Do you know what? We know it. And you're just thinking, why are we? Why are we slow? I've said this many a time on the watch-alongs, but when you see the pace, and I think a lot of it comes down to the goalkeeper. Do you know the goalkeeper getting the ball out quick and getting the ball up the park? Because if you don't get the ball up the park quick, you're allowing them to get back into their low block, and that's where Celtic really played Celtic football. But as managers drumming into the players, they play the ways instead of playing to their strengths and building a team around our strengths. I think that's modern football, though, isn't it? Modern football coaches seem to be taking the rawness out of players. You know, taking that raw ability and saying, look, you've got to play this position. You have to play this position and you have to play here and you have to do this and do that. And it all comes down to what they're taught in the tactics board, Wilfred Nancy style. Do you know what I mean? It's like, well, you play here and you pass it to him. And it's like, well, no, if you've got room, if you've got space, move into the space. Keep going forward. And I think that we see that a lot at Celtic this season. You see Celtic players that have got 20, 30 yards in front of them, but they stop. And then they're looking for the pass. And it's like, keep going. There's not a player near you. So why are you stopping and changing the point? There's about 30 feet in front of you with no player, but we're stopping. And we've seen every defender at Celtic do that this season. So that comes down to system, isn't it? That comes down to system and training. You know, and it's taken away if you've got this, if you see the gap, if you see a gap, you play into that gap. You know, if you've got a run that you could make, and there's nobody near you, you make the damn run. You go for it. It's just schoolboys, basic football, isn't it? And we seem to be training that out of modern football players, which means we're in for a very boring time. I think Steve Clarke is going to be the Celtic manager, Baz, with Martin O'Neill moving upstairs. I don't think Martin O'Neill is going to move upstairs. I'll be honest. I think that Martin O'Neill will get. Having seen the way that Celtic are run from the way that we were run back in the day under Martin O'Neill, you've got to remember that Martin O'Neill wasn't too happy when he left before. He wasn't too happy with the fact that he didn't get to spend more money after spending shitloads to get us to Seville. But I don't think Martin O'Neill can be arsed with the hassle. 74 years. I mean, would you want to do it at 74? I'd be like, no, mate, I'm piping slipper stuff. I'm going to do the odd Alistair Johnson, but I seen Ali Johnson on the telly. I'm going back to that stuff, mate. There's no hassle with that. There's no hatred. There's no negativity. Do you know what I mean? If Martin was to go upstairs, I'd love him to take the chairman's job. Absolutely love him to take the chairman's job. But if nothing changes within the boardroom at Celtic this summer, and it's a case of same old, and the only change is maybe Martin O'Neill going into a position upstairs. Martin O'Neill's then in the firing line, and you've got to be thinking to yourself, "Fuck, not a chance, man. No, I can't be bothered with that nonsense." Don't know. I've seen the way that, and the fact that Martin O'Neill turned around and said, "There is no way will I be here for the next AGM. Not a chance." I think Martin O'Neill was highly embarrassed publicly by the AGM. I think, I mean, he maybe felt it was his duty to Desmond. You know, when Dermot phoned up and said, "Look, we've sacked that clown Nancy. Can you come back to the end of the season till we try and sort out a long term?" You've got to remember what Martin O'Neill said. He said, when Dermot phoned me, he said, "Can you come back to the end of the season till we sort out a long-term manager that is looking at Celtic in a 3 or 4 year plan?" That was Martin O'Neill's exact words. So he knows that he's not going to be there. And at 74-year-old, I mean, we look as if we've aged Martin O'Neill a couple of years just in the last three months. And I certainly wouldn't want him. He's doing an amazing job for 75. Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's doing an amazing job for his age. But do you really want to be in that firing line going forward with the negativity that's around Celtic just now? It would be fantastic if he could get the chairman's job or something like that. But at the same time, you would need a whole new board. You'd need to get rid of Nicholson. You'd need to get rid of Mackay. You'd need to get rid of the ex-coppers that are sitting in security at Celtic. Do you know, there's too much going on, and I think that it would be a shame for Martin O'Neill to go upstairs, and then his ultimate legacy and being remembered in years to come was all the negativity about what's going on. And I think we should allow Martin O'Neill just to walk off into the distance now and thank him for what he's done this season. Because I think that any other manager, we would have been out of the running ages ago. Do you know, we could be in 5th position if it wasn't for Martin O'Neill coming back. Some people say, well, we would never have been in this position if Martin O'Neill had stayed originally. There's nothing to say that we would be top of the league. But I think going forward, my own personal thought is let the man go and have a happy-ish retirement, and knowing that he tried his best for Celtic when it was asked upon. Don't give him the added pressure of the negativity that's coming round the corner at Celtic this summer. Because if you think that this year's been bad, I think the summer's just going to be even worse. I can't see a manager that can come in and turn things around. Fantastic. Do you know, and get us all back united. Anyway, that's me done and dusted for the night. I shall see you all in the morning. The only name in the frame for the next manager I would entertain is Jens from Motherwell. Interesting. Martin, as I already said, he's walking back away back to London. Yes, he is that. Right, thank you to everyone who's been on the live tonight. I shall see you all bright and early tomorrow morning. On that note, have an absolutely fantastic evening, Celtic fans, wherever you are, all around the world.